Hi there. In this video I'm going to make some awesome chocolate chip cookies. And for starters, I'm going to set my oven to 350 or 375 degrees and preheat that. Okay, let me show you what we got going on here. I've got 2¼ cups of flour, all-purpose flour. To that I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt and 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder. Now, interestingly enough, I only have one large bowl. On my boat, which is where I live, space is limited, and I just don't have 2 large bowls. I just have one. Maybe I should get another one, but I'm kind of conflicted on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mix my dry ingredients in my one large bowl, and then I'm going to carefully move them over this small bowl, and it'll be kind of heaping. Now, I couldn't use a small bowl because my flour pretty much filled it up and there'd be no way that I could properly whisk that. Okay, let's see. I've got my quarter out. So anyway, I used 3/4 cup, or 3/4 teaspoon, take that back, of baking powder. And now I'm going to put 1 teaspoon of fine salt. You don't want to use sea salt or kosher salt. It says fine salt. So I'm going to just put that in there and go ahead and get that whisked up. And then I'm going to transfer that to the small bowl, and I'm going to do my wet ingredients in this bowl. Now, you'll see I have sugar and brown sugar here, and in baking, sugars are considered wet ingredients. And I'll go back over the ingredient list when I get this in the other bowl. Actually, I'll go over the ingredients now because I need to go ahead and get my butter started melting. So anyway, in a bowl I put 2¼ cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon salt, 3/4 teaspoon baking powder, and then when I get to my wet ingredients, I'm going to use 3/4 cup of granulated sugar, 3/4 cup of dark brown sugar. I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 stick of butter melted. Mine come in half sticks, so a full long stick. And then you have 2 eggs. So let me go ahead and get my butter melting and get this back in the small bowl, and we'll get started with the wet ingredients. Okay, as it turned out, my camera said turned off by battery mode. So I'm not sure if you saw the last part. If you did, great, and I'll just leave that in there. Now we're at this point. And just to go over that again, 3/4 cup of white, 3/4 cup brown sugar, both sugars, 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, 2 eggs, and 1 stick of butter melted into here. Now I've got that pretty smooth, so at this point what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a wooden spoon and mix this in with that. Okay, I've got my wooden spoon, and so what I'm going to start with is about half of this mixture right here. And we're just going to fold this and mix it in, get it all wet. We don't want to overwork this or else your cookies could be tough, or so they say. Now, I've never met a really tough cookie, but wait a minute, isn't that an expression, tough cookie? So maybe there is. Maybe there's some truth into that. If you think you know the answer to that, please let me know in the comments. Okay, and this is pretty thick, so we got most of that absorbed in. And so let's go ahead and add the other half of that. Okay, when you're all mixed up with that, and you're nice and happy, now we put in about 12 ounces of chocolate morsels. I'm going to start about there. I'm having to eyeball it because I had this bag of chocolate chips for a day or two, and no bag of chocolate chips is safe anywhere near me. So anyway, I'm just going to get these pretty evenly throughout the batter, and then we're going to go ahead and just put it on a cookie sheet lined with some parchment paper. Alright, when it seems like all your chocolate chips are pretty well portioned into your dough, and we're just going to start rolling up little cookie balls. Depending upon how big you like them, you know, is going to depend on how long they cook. So I'm going to start out with what looks like a decent sized ice cream scoop, which, by the way, would be really handy to have if you're going to make these. And I just don't have one, so just going to have to go with the old-fashioned method of just roll them up between my hands. Okay, I put 8 on my cookie sheet, and I hope they're not too close together, but we'll see how it turns out. Into a preheated 375-degree oven for 12 to 18 minutes, depending upon how chewy you want them. I might just go with the middle of the road 14 minutes. Alright, I'll be back when they're done. Alright, I said 14 to 18, I meant 14 to 16 minutes. Here is my first batch, and I'm going to put these onto a cooling rack and let them cool down for a while because they are rocket hot, just came out. Oops, got a little chocolate there. The Fumbling Gourmet. Yeah, I like it. Alright, let me cool these off. I'll put them on a rack, cool them off, and then I'll take a bite and we'll see what we think. And I'll add my next batch, and I'll be cooking cookies all night. See you in a bit. Alright, my cookies have cooled, and now is a moment of truth. I'm going to grab one and take a bite. Crunchy on the outside, a little bit chewy on the inside, just like I like it. Now, if you want them more crisp and flat, you could just push down with a fork on your dough before you get going. Man, this is good. Alright, well, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope it's inspired you to make your own chocolate chip cookies. Like most of my videos, I kind of fumbled through in places, and I really hope you caught me mixing up all the stuff, but I covered that in case that got taken out. Anyway, thanks again for watching. Please give it a thumbs up if you like it, and we'll see you in another video. Bye.